Shifting gears, recognizing the signs of mental illness in a child can be very difficult and even scary for a parent. But finding help is another challenge in itself. Nate Custer from our sister station KNWA shows us the impact of a groundbreaking new therapy with roots here in Arkansas.
About 1 in 5 youths ages 13 to 18 experience a severe mental disorder at some point during their lives. That's according to the National Alliance of Mental Illness. Tonight, a teenager from Harrison shares her personal mental health journey dealing with schizoaffective disorder and how she came dangerously close to taking her own life.
And I was like, this is it.
Hillary Mays had a pretty typical childhood, except for the shadows she saw and the voices in her head that told her to start cutting herself at the age of 12. When her parents discovered the cuts, they were understandably shaken.
I was furious. I didn't understand how she could do it.
When Hillary was a freshman in high school, she warned her family that she wouldn't be around for her sophomore year. The Mays knew the clock was ticking, but had no luck with the therapist they saw, which made Hillary's mother, Crystal, fear the worst.
I know this sounds harsh, but I will bury my daughter one day. Like, she will kill herself and I will bury my daughter one day. And I truly believed that. I had accepted that. I wasn't okay with it, but I believed that was going to happen.
Hillary says she would have ended it all if not for the guilt of what it would do to her family.
I would start thinking, oh my goodness, like my parents are going to walk in here and what they're going to see is not what they're going to want to see.
Meanwhile, a mental health counselor at Youthbridge was pioneering a new form of therapy called seed digging. Shauna Burns looked at children as if they're gardens, and each positive and negative experience produces a seed that's planted.
In that garden, weeds and flowers grow. And so the weeds and flowers, they represent those actions, behavioral problems. The flowers represent those things that children do that are fun and bring life.
Burns says the weeds eventually manifest themselves as problems in a child's life in a variety of ways, including mental disorders like the ones affecting Hillary. Burns believes traditional mental health therapy models do a good job of teaching coping skills, but just coping isn't enough. You have to dig deeper.
If a child had a big thorn bush in their garden, you may look at the thorn bush and, you could prune the thorn bush back, you could cut the thorns off, the limbs off, and you could slow the progression of the problem down. But unfortunately, if you don't get the thorn bush out at the root, it's going to come back.
At the end of their rope, the Mays would meet with Burns in October of 2014 in a last-ditch effort to keep Hillary from committing suicide.
As soon as I shook her hand, I knew she was the one. I knew she was the one. She was perfect.
Did you need her to be the one?
Absolutely. Absolutely needed her more than anything.
During the first session with Burns, Hillary says she felt like her chest opened up and let loose the demons that tormented her, and wondered if Burns noticed what had taken place.
I remember as soon as it happened, I sat there because I automatically thought in my head, like, if this girl is real, she's going to say something about that. And so I sat there and I opened my eyes and she said, did you feel that?
I watched my child transform from session 1.
It saved our life.
Hillary's now a senior in high school, very happy, and plans to go on to college to become a counselor just like Burns.
I could not be more proud of that child. She's amazing. She really is. I tell her all the time how proud of her I am. That to see her even thinking about having a future from where she was, it's amazing. It really is.
Hillary Mays and her family are happy to share that her diagnosis of schizoaffective disorder has been removed for nearly 3 years now. Shauna Burns has written books about how seed digging works and has taught it to school districts here and all across the state. It will be featured at a national conference this summer. You can learn more about it by going to our website at fox24news.tv. Nate Custer for Fox 24 News.